Hello, my name is Alissa, and I'm the Science Program Manager at Boston Children's Museum. And I want to welcome you back to my kitchen for another great kitchen science activity. What we're going to be doing today is making an indicator. Now, to indicate means to show. So we're going to make something that will show us, in this case, if something is an acid or a base. Now, acids and bases are chemical opposites, and that's all we really need to worry about for that. This acid-base indicator is kind of funny because we're going to make it out of cabbage. So this is probably the only thing that you might not have in your house right now, but you can go out and get some, and you won't need all of it. So whatever you don't use, you can eat. So to make the acid-base indicator, usually when I do this at the museum, I use almost the entire head of cabbage and a gallon of water because I need to make a lot of it because there's a lot of kids coming through. But to make it in the kitchen, you'll want to chop up just about a handful of the cabbage. You don't have to chop it up tiny, just chop it up and put it in a bowl. And then set some water on to boil. And when it comes to a boil, pour it over the cabbage so that it covers it. And then just leave it there for, I don't know, an hour. I usually leave it there all day until I remember later on that it's sitting there. It doesn't really matter. In the end, what you'll have is this nice purple liquid. And this is the stuff that's going to tell us if other chemicals are an acid or a base. So the other stuff that you'll need to do this experiment is you'll need some bowls or jars. If you have a white bowl, that's great. If you don't, just use any jar and a piece of white paper. By putting the white paper under the jar, it's a lot easier to see the colors. You'll need a medicine dropper. If you don't have one, don't worry. You can use a straw or a small spoon. It doesn't really matter. And then you'll need some things that you want to test. I've gathered up some things from around my kitchen. I've got some vinegar here and some baking soda, some salt. I took a vitamin C tablet and I mashed it up into a powder. That was kind of fun. You can test anything, but it's easiest to tell the color changes if you use something that's clear or white. If you use something that's colored, like, say, orange juice, it's hard to tell the color changes in your bowl. So stick to things that are white or clear. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so we've got some cabbage juice indicator in each one. Now, I only have this one medicine dropper right now, so it's really important that I rinse it out in some water. Oops, that went over on the kitchen table. And that's because I don't want my chemicals to get mixed up in the dropper. I only want them to get mixed up in the bowls. So I always want to make sure I'm using everything nice and clean. Okay, so let's see what we have. I have some vinegar here, and I have my baking soda, and I have my salt. We're going to start with these three things. If you put something in your cabbage juice indicator and it turns pink, that means that that chemical is an acid. If it turns blue or green, that means that it's a base. And if nothing happens, that means that it's not an acid or a base, it's just neutral. So let's get started. I'm going to start with my vinegar. I'm going to put it right in here. Oh! Can you see that? Move it up to the camera a little bit. turned pink. That means that vinegar must be an acid. All right, well, let's try a little baking soda. So if you're going to use something like baking soda that's not a liquid, you can just use a little spoon, or the back end of a spoon works really well, because then you don't get too much. So the back end of a plastic spoon here, and you can see that turned blue. So baking soda must be a base. Now I'm going to try some salt. All right. Still purple. I guess salt is neutral. So these are the kinds of results that you would get when you do this experiment. Definitely check with a grown-up before you grab different things from around your kitchen, because some things might not really be safe for you to be mixing with. Things like cleaning products are probably not a good idea. But food type things, salt, sugar, baking soda, vinegar, lemon juice, things like that, those are safe. I'm going to try my experiment again. Okay, I'm ready for round 2. You can see I've got my Cabbage Juice Indicator ready to go. I think for the first one I'm going to try this vitamin C tablet. Oh, turning pink. Guess vitamin C is an acid. Now I'm going to try some toothpaste. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit on the end of this spoon here and just kind of get it in there and stir it in. It's a little blue. So that toothpaste must be a base. Now I have 2 different kinds of toothpaste in my house, so I'm going to try this other kind too. And I guess this one, oh, no, it is changing. There we go. It's also blue. Now here's a fun fact for you. Cabbage isn't the only food that acts as an acid-base indicator. In summertime, one of my favorite breakfasts is a fruit smoothie. And I like to put raspberries in my fruit smoothie, and raspberries can act as an acid-base indicator. So my smoothie is pink because of the raspberries. But when I brush my teeth and I spit out the toothpaste, it's blue because the acid-base indicator of the raspberry has mixed with the base, that's the toothpaste, and turns blue. I love brushing my teeth after I have a smoothie because I think it's really funny. I hope you get a chance to try this experiment at home. It's really fun to go around your house and test out different chemicals and watch the color changes in the jars. If you do try it at home, please post pictures of your results and let us know what the thing is that you tried. Post your results in the comments below. And don't forget to check back in with us here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more fun science activities, art projects, story times, yoga, and lots of other fun things to keep your brains engaged while you're at home. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.